What the deal? Bet. I got two phones, one for the plug and one for the load. I got two phones.
Hey y'all, this is Bartalk and Birddog. Been getting many people from that first little video there saying they would be interested in it. I've always thought about it lately, trying to put it on video or whatever, on how we was brought up from living on the farm. A bunch of us live on the farm, but a bunch of us got a bunch of stories you don't never come out with, but I figured I'd put them on video. It'll be stories from making you cry to your side busted open. When I was little, about 5 or 6, we had hogs. You can tell it's Christmas time. We had hogs when I was little, and we lived a quarter mile off the road, so what we would do, or what I would do, all my cousins was older than me. I was the youngest one of all the cousins. I got in there and played with the hogs. I stayed going about all day. Going out through the woods, me and my dog, Buster. We get in there and mess with the hogs. You can get on the back of a hog and hold his ears, and he'd get out through the woods, down through there getting it. From messing with them, doing all kind of mess, farming, fishing, and doing a little bit of everything. One of the stories on it, since we had the hogs at the house, we had one time, I was about 7 or 8, and they were moving the hogs from one hog house to the next. We sat there and I kept getting up in the way. The hogs kept turning back. Some of my cousins kept telling me, "Get back now, these hogs." I just kept getting them pissed off. Next thing I knew, I had a cattle prod right here. Eat me up. Bad thing about it, I went and told Mama. That didn't turn out good for him. We had chickens well, my cousins next door, we had chickens, and well, he had chickens and guineas and everything, and I'd pestered the hell out of them guineas. They had one old big rooster with them. Kept messing with them, aggravating them. One day I come up behind his house, coming from the barns. That rooster fell in behind me, and I tripped and fell. Of course, you can tell I'm about clumsy anyway. I went up through there running toward the house, and I tripped and fell. That blame rooster went around me and around me. Every time I moved, he tried to pick me. I went to holler for Mama. I was close enough to the house, and Mama heard me. She come out with a broom and whooped the rooster. They had a hog house, or a hog pen right below the house there. And about a week later, that rooster went in there and fell in there with them hogs. Them hogs killed him and ate him. I was one happy youngin'. But there's little stories like that. Just all of us that lived on a farm or around farms got stories like that. All of us remember when we get older. Child, I'm 46 now, but that was 35 years ago, 30 or 40 years ago, when this stuff was going on. And I think it's just good to get out and remember the good times growing up on the farm and not having to worry about the working and playing when I was that young. You work hard in the summertime, but you play hard too, especially in the wintertime. Get a little bit older, started hunting with Daddy's son, and then my second cousin Philip. He lived right beside us. He's the one that had the chickens and the guineas. I'd stay with him. Summertime, we'd be fishing about every Sunday. Wintertime, we'd be hunting on Saturdays, and sometimes we slip off on a Sunday from here to there. But, and then when I was little like that, we would go spotlighting and bird blinding in the pack house, in the old bucket barns, old stick barns. I imagine some of y'all have done that. Like I said, I've had a bunch of different stories here and there, from playing possum soccer to giving CPR to a squirrel, to fighting a deer when I got a little older. We'll have guests from time to time. Some of them we'll get talking back and forth. I have to have a translator to figure out what we're saying. I get nervous when I get nervous, I get fast talking. So I had to slow myself down some. Like I said, this time of year is Christmas. When I was little, I would go to my uncle's, or one in particular, Fletcher. He was real close to my mama. And we would go, instead of going and getting Christmas trees at lots, we'd go down in the woods and find him a cedar tree. Go cut the cedar tree and break it back. But every Christmas we would get together. We get together for Thanksgiving, the whole family, and then for Christmas we turn around and get together. It would be the whole family, like all my mama's brothers and sisters. It would be a crowd of us. But I know this podcast here is kind of a little slow about the humor and all. I figured I'd give everybody the reason I'm going to try to do a podcast from time to time. Hopefully a little bit more podcast. Well, I'll do a little more podcast from when I was growing up. I'd hang around Fletcher's son, Scott. I'd hang around him all the time. I'd want to be like him because he was 8 years older than me. Aggravated the hell out of me. But now, we'll carry on now. I don't see him as much as we did. And Philip, like I said, I fish with him a lot during the summertime, every weekend, every Sunday when we were barney backer. We were either catfishing or crappie fishing or doing something. Crowd I hang around with now is about like family, and we're a tight-knit group. We'll do anything from, we used to go to the lake a lot, to going to ride side by side to West Virginia. That's what we've got to doing now. Still hunting some. But that's a nutshell. It's probably 15 or 20 of us that hang real tight now. But like I said, this be some of the stories that make you cry, some of them will make your damn side hurt. But I know this is a little bit of short podcast, but tell you what, I'm hoping we'll have a good ride and let everybody cut up and have a good time and see how it was growing up on the farm to what we do now. All of us have got youngins and full-time jobs and just don't get together like we used to, other than the crowd we're hanging with now. There's one of them that would probably be on here, Robert, son, in the 5th grade. He's older than me, so he was in the 6th grade. I met him the only year I ever played football. They fat shamed me. I had to lose weight to play football. Ain't that a note? But he played with me football, Pop Warner or whatever you call it, that's the town there. He's in the 6th grade. I'm in the 5th grade. 30 some years later, well, 30 some years later, He lives across the road. I'd have never thought that, did. But like I said, we got some good old rednecks we'll probably have on here. We'll have some Yankees on here too. They good boys, but they ain't never heard of no possum soccer or giving CPR to a squirrel. But that's some stories we'll have time to time. I figured I'd start off when I was a little bit younger to get my years in to what we carry on and do now. Like I said, hope next one will be a little bit longer. See y'all next time. Cheers.